I have built an aesthetic physique that has attracted multiple girlfriends in my life who has literally texted me which muscle groups they prefer the most. Therefore, in this video I will be making a tier list from F to S, where S is the most amount of attraction that you will get from girls and where F is the worst. My name is Oliver and I help teenage guys transform their looks so you can attract beautiful girls. And if you didn't know already, building an aesthetic physique is the best way to do so. If you want to know the quickest way to build an aesthetic physique, then go have a look at the top link in the description. All the details are there. So for now, let's start the ranking. So let's start with the legs. And actually, I have no fucking clue about the legs. 2 seconds, I will actually type to one of my friends that I know who is literally trained at the gym, who has the hour shaped glass. Like, she'll probably give a pretty good answer to this. Okay, so she actually said that legs doesn't mean pretty much anything. So therefore, the legs is gonna go to the bottom. The legs, like, we still don't want to have fucking chicken legs when we have a good upper body, right? So it's not in the top, but it's not really at the bottom either. For that reason, the legs in general will come to the ranking of an D tier. So the second muscle group that we want to look at is the lats. So actually the lats is pretty interesting because there's another girl that I know who actually loves anatomy. So like the muscles on a person, right? On a human. And she specifically loves it on a man, of course, right? So I literally sent her a picture of me and I asked her, what is the most attractive muscle groups that you found on me or just in general? And can you guess what that muscle was? It was actually the back muscles. It was in the top 3 of her most liked muscles. So for that specific reason, not only will our lats come in S tier, but also the traps, because she just generally said the back muscles. So for that reason, our lats and traps come in S tier. So the biceps is pretty interesting because, again, I typed the same girl and it was also in the top 3 muscles that was the most attractive ones for her. So for that reason, the biceps is also gonna come into the S tier. And if you want to know the best way to train these muscles for the optimal attractiveness that you can get for girls, because there's different proportions for how much you should train each muscle, then have a look at the top link in the description. All the details are there. So the next muscle is the triceps, just in general, all the 3 heads. And it's pretty interesting because I know that every single guy that I know who goes to the gym and wants to build muscle, they always focus so much on the triceps, but is it actually that attractive for girls? Here in the last couple of weeks, I have been speaking to 5 different girls. I have texted all these 5 different girls what was the most attractive muscles, and not one of them mentioned the triceps. So for that reason, we don't want to train our fucking triceps directly, bro. Like, why the fuck are you wasting your time on that shit? Like, and it's even getting trained on like doing bench press and all this shit. So for that reason, the triceps will actually come on the lower tier. It will come to the E tier. Because it's not like we don't want to have any triceps build it up, but we definitely don't want to have it grown too much. But if you still don't want to listen to me and hear that the triceps is not really attractive to girls, then if you have to choose one of the heads to train, definitely train the long head, which is the one that your lats are pushing outwards, because that will give your arms a more fuller and more aesthetic look. So now is probably one of the most interesting muscles that we're going to talk about, and that is the chest. So what ranking does the chest have? So there's another story that I want to tell you. So I had a girl over at my house here from some time. We were making out and all this shit, right? And all of a sudden, when we started to cuddle, all of a sudden I realized that she was putting her hand a specific place all the time that we were together that day. She always put her hand on my upper chest. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because girls, when they cuddle, they always put their arms where they found the most attractiveness on a man, of course, right? I have had some girls who had touched my shoulders more. That's usually when I walk around with the girls. Then they like to touch my shoulders and arms. But when I lay down, they actually want to touch the chest. So for that reason, the chest is also a muscle that we really want to focus on because they really found it attractive. So that's why the chest is also in the S tier. The next muscle is actually the neck muscles. I don't know if you knew it already, but the neck is actually one of the most attractive muscles that you can build on yourself. And women are so attracted to it because it has masculine traits. Like it shows that you're more powerful, that you are a strong person, so you're capable of protecting yourself and your woman, right? And I just recently found out about this fucking shit. So right now I don't have the biggest neck, but I'm fucking grinding on it. I'm literally doing fucking 3 sets every single day for fucking my neck just to grow it, right? Because what I want you to realize is, look at these 2 different pictures. One of these pictures it's literally the same man, right? But just with different size, a different size neck. And you can clearly see that it's so much more attractive with the ones who has a more fuller neck. That's why we want to really focus on having a neck. But there's a rule to the neck, because we can also overtrain the neck. So that's why the most attractive amount of muscle that we can get on the neck is actually to align it with our outer jawline. So the jaw right here is where our neck should be aligned with. That is the most attractive neck size that you can have. And for that reason, the neck is coming to the S tier. So the next muscle, let's take the forearms. So many probably has questioned this, like, is it really that important to have good forearms? Do I need to look like fucking Popeye or some shit? Fucking just have the biggest forearms. But the thing is, from every single girl that I've been talking to, I've never heard them mention it. I have never seen them touch them on me. So like, they have never touched my underarms or forearms. So that means that it's not really that of an attractive muscle to them. Sure enough, there's probably some girls who likes the muscle, but in general, no one has ever talked about it or even touched it. So for that reason, the forearms is coming down on the tier list. I would actually give it an F tier. Because you see, when we train pull-ups or shrugs, all of these different exercises when we need to hold a dumbbell, we actually train our forearms. So for that reason, there's not really like any reason for us to train it directly, fucking laying down on a bench doing fucking forearm curls. So for that reason, it gets an F tier. If you want to learn the best secrets to attracting girls so you can attract as many girls as I do, then I will highly recommend you to subscribe to my channel. Because on this channel, I literally teach you every secret that I have learned on how to attract women and what is the best methods to do so. So if you haven't done it yet, I would really recommend you to go down and subscribe. So now let's get onto the next muscle, which is actually the shoulders. So the shoulders is divided up to 3 different muscles. We have the rear delts, we have the lateral delts, and we have the front delts. And with the shoulders, the girls that I've known and that I have dated, they always fucking touch the shoulders, bro. It's fucking crazy. Like literally, I have good shoulders already, so it kind of sits tightly on my shirt, right? Whenever I have been on a date, when I'm eating with the girl, or if I've just been walking around in like a shop with her, they always fucking try to touch like the lateral delts, which is the side delt, and then the arms. It's kind of a combination of it. They kind of put the arms on the shoulder and kind of speaks eye to eye to you, right? So for that reason, the shoulders is so important to train, specifically the lateral delts. That is the one that also gives you the aesthetic V-taper physique. The reason for this is because there is a shoulder to waist ratio that you need to have trained properly. Can you guess what that ratio is? It is 1.6 times from your waist to your shoulder ratio. That is the single most attractive length that you can have, or proportions, for attracting a girl. And for that reason, the shoulders get an S tier. The next muscle is the lower back muscle. So the muscle that will kind of give you the Christmas tree. I think that's what people call it. And the interesting thing is that it can be good to train your lower back for like injuries and not like preventing injuries and all this, right? But for attracting girls, bro, nobody gives a shit. Like, they have never even touched it, mentioned it, all of this, you know the rules, right? So for that reason, the lower back gets an F tier. Now we have the abs. So I have texted a girl yet again, and I asked her again, what makes a man's body so attractive? And there was one particular muscle that she literally told was the most attractive, and that is the abs. Of course it is. The Greek fucking god physique. Like, imagine if you saw like a Greek god statue, right? Imagine if they didn't have the abs. It would be kind of like, they would just look kind of bulky and muscular, but not attractive, right? So the abs is literally crucial for getting that aesthetic V-taper physique, for attracting most amount of women in your life. And for that reason, the abs of course gets an S tier. And if you want to know how many times a week that you should train these muscles and what workouts you should do, what exercises you should do to train these muscles, then of course I have all the solution in the top link of the description. Go see all the details inside of there. So I really hope that you got some value out of this video. I've really put in the time to really think about what has actually been the most attractive muscles for a woman, like for me personally, from my own experience, and not just for what the fuck ChatGPT says, right? Train your glutes, bro. So if you want to get one step closer to getting a girlfriend, then I will highly recommend you to go watch the video over here. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day, bro. Mwah.